I got some curls of hair. What else is new? I'm getting my boots on. I can tell you if you can't tell by now. Last year when my cow was really, in the year before learning how to milk, she was quite kicky. And sometimes, every now and then, I'm putting on my boots, and sometimes, every now and then, she can still be kicky. But it's not bad, ever. Okay, well today, it was really bad. And she kicked me twice in the face. And I broke my nose. Well, she broke my nose. But any good farm girl knows, it's like I was raised on a horse ranch. And it's that old saying, you gotta get back on the horse. Well, I'm not milking her tonight because of the series of events. I'll just set you up here. Yeah, okay. If you hear a crazy noise, it's my husband and my twins who are loading up the truck to bring over with firewood to load up the wood racks. Because we have woken up to snow on several occasions, and there might be still snow in the backyard where it's a little more shady. So today, oh yeah, I'm on some not serious drugs. I'm just on ibuprofen and switching it up with acetaminophen and icing it a lot, and it looked way worse. I think it was crazy. So all three of my boys were out helping, feeding. Okay, our dog Madeline, oh, she cracks me up. All three of my boys were out there with me today, and my oldest was going to milk because we milk every morning together. And fortunately, I got down there first. I can't imagine what if it was him. It would have been horrendous. I'm really glad this happened to me and not him. And I don't know what got into her. She just, and it was like an upward. I had my head down. I was getting my wash rag to wash. I was washing her teats, and all of a sudden, and and then where my head was, I jerked back and I hit my head off the stanchion because I have a bar that goes across to keep her in, and I whacked my head off of that. My mom's like, how she just called or texted to check on me. She's like, how do you feel? I was like, it literally feels exactly like what happened. I got kicked in the face, which I did twice. So we ordered the cow kick bar. It'll be here at some point. And I have a bucket of grain, and I'm going to go out and get my cow. Sorry, you're on the table and it's bouncing. I'm going to go get her in the stanchion. I'm not going to milk her because this isn't the best of circumstances, but it is what is happening. A few days ago, our calf has been separated for a few months. So I brought her in to the pasture to see if she was weaned from her mama so they could be together again. They're just separated by a couple strands of hot wire. So they can still be by each other. They just can't be right next to each other or they'll get hot wired. But so I brought them in together. 2 days, they did great. She didn't nurse. I was able to get my full ration of milk I've been getting twice a day for the last several months. And then the third day we come out, which was yesterday. Which was yesterday. And we go and there's no milk. The calf had started nursing again after few days. The third day she started back up. I was like, that's unfortunate. Well, you're going back separated. So we separated her. My sister comes and milks a few times a week, and last night she came to milk yesterday evening and got her full ration, no problems, nothing. Then this morning Mia was like really pissed off at me, I think just from the cat, and I was like, maybe she's hurt. We have a mat out there on the stanchion and it was a little snowy. It wasn't slick or anything because it's a big thick rubber mat and it's supposed to be no slip, but we don't have a roof on our stanchion. So I was like, oh, maybe her feet are cold. Maybe that's what it was. And I didn't think she was being malicious when she kicked me and I even, after when she kicked me, I fell backward, whacked my head, and then fell onto the ground. My boys are like, Mom, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, I think I broke my nose. I could feel the crunch. And you can see that's the only outside owie, which is pretty good. And not much, there is swelling, it is tender over here, but the main issue's here. Went to the doctor, concussed, broken nose, don't need any straightening, just basically ibuprofen and ice, essentially. So, and I'll be curious to see, I'll film this over the next few days I wonder if I'll get black and blue. So Like, the doctor's office is like, well, this is the first. Trey was at work. I called my husband first. I'm like, honey, I'm crying at this point. I hit the ground and I'm like, I could feel the crack. And then I'm just like, it took my breath away a bit, and I'm on the ground and I'm just start sobbing because it hurt so bad. I just could feel the throbbing pain. And I was like, I could feel, this is TMI. So if you get grossed out at situations, my nose wasn't bleeding. And then I could feel it like coming down, and it did start gushing. And then, because it was so high up here, is this the bridge of your nose? That's where it was, and that's where it is. And so, and then because it was snowy and covered, it's gone now, but it was all snowy this morning, and it just looked like a crime scene out there because of how bad I was bleeding. And luckily it was snowy, and I was getting snow off the roof because it was the most sanitary issue. It hurt so bad. I just had to get something freezing on it. So the snow, I was able to we got like an inch of snow this morning. So I was just packing it on my nose and call my husband, and he's at work. And I'm like, Trey, I got kicked by the cow and I think I broke my nose. And he's like, do you need me to come home? I was like, I couldn't think. My brain wasn't working. Call my mom, hoping she'd come and take the boys so I thought I could drive myself to the hospital or the doctor in town. No, I was pretty dizzy, and they're out of town. She calls my sister. My sister comes and was able to take care of everything and take me to the doctor. And then my husband came home, and it was just like a whirlwind morning. But that dang cow, I went out this afternoon, and I went out this afternoon to talk to her. You know, we had to have our heart-to-heart. But it was funny, when we came home, she has her ice cream, alfalfa hay up here, and she had plenty to eat. And she wasn't there. She was over by the road where we drive into, just waiting there, which is weird because normally nothing can separate that cow from her morning hay, you know what I'm saying? And she had plenty of it left, and she was there. I'm convinced, nobody believes me, I'm convinced she was apologizing for her actions. But because then she came back, I went out there and talked to her, and she came out, and I don't know, I didn't brush her. I just petted her down and did touch her udders. She didn't kick me at all. She's calmed down. But we put the calf back in because even after that was not good. Even after all of this, I was like, I have to milk this cow. I cannot get her sick. I have no other option. And then so for like, I don't know, 20 minutes before my sister got here, I'm just like trying to milk her. And she, at this point, is just kicking like a psycho. And I'm like, oh, is she hurt? Is she hurt? Well, now that I know she's not hurt, it makes it even worse. She was just being a jerk, just a big fat jerk. And I don't know. She had a burr in her bonnet this morning. Maybe because the calf was gone again. That's my only guess, because now the calf is back with her. And she's perfectly fine. And she let me mess with her udders and all of that. The calf is nursing, which I know you guys might think I'm crazy, and especially since my cow can't kick bar is not here yet. But I remember watching Roots and Refuge's video a few months ago, and somebody commented and was like, why are you still using that bar? And she's like, when I want to get kicked in the face, that's when I'm going to stop using this bar. And I'm like, oh yeah. Well, now I legit got kicked in the face, and I'm getting that bar, and I'm going to be using it because this is not fun. Praise report, wasn't one of my children. Second praise report, I'm okay. It could be worse. But my head is throbbing, and the medicine doesn't really take away anything. I still feel everything. But I'm going to go out, give her grain, brush her down, and talk to her. Have a heart-to-heart. You want to come? You want to see her? Okay, let's go. Calf butt. You get brush too in your butt. She seems a little weird. I do have a little PTSD going back there. It'll freak me out. Oh. I had wondered if maybe she had come into heat and I didn't realize it, like she miscarried, but she got bred in July, and it's almost November. So that's quite a few months to go to miscarry. Nothing traumatic has happened in her life. I don't know. I haven't seen a bleed off in months. She has very vivid heat cycles. Normally, like you can tell when she's in heat because she's very vocal about it. And cows, if you don't know, if they don't have a partner, they'll mount you, which is very dangerous. But if they have like a buddy in here, they will mount their buddy, which is a dead giveaway that they're in heat. And also they have a bleed off, just like a human woman, not when we're in heat though, but like after, just like when a woman's on their period, she has that evidence as well. Blood all over her tail and her butt area, and nothing since June. So Mama, let's not let this happen again. I'm like nervous. Ooh. Don't. I feel nervous. Do you feel my nervous energy? Yes? If you stand back with your arm, like over here, they can't get to you. But when you're not expecting that and you have had a cow that's been very, very, very good and hasn't done that in a year, it makes it a little difficult when animals are unpredictable and you cannot forget that. And I did. So, message received. She's finished her food and I'm going to just let her be here for a little bit because I do not care if you're done with your food. You sit here and act like an appropriate lady. Right, Mama? You're getting your winter coat in, nice and thick. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Sorry, Mama. Is that what you say? Good. So, anyway, this morning we utilized the calf. She's not really a calf. To do the nursing for me because I was trying for 20 minutes and she was just being a crazy person, just kicking at me and being psycho, kicking over the bucket, being psycho. And my sister was just like, hi, you look horrible. We need to take you to the doctor. We need to go now. What can we do? And my sister knows how to milk, but I didn't want anybody else getting hurt. So I just kept doing it and standing and milking. That's uncomfortable. And then I was just like, I'm going to bring in the calf. I know she's not weaned 100% and she's been nursing. I can tell by the bag. Her udder is deflated. Not ideal because we've gone through months of weaning and then now it's not ideal, but what can you do? I'm gushing blood all over the barn or the barnyard and gotta do what you gotta do. And I did what I had to do. So part of me does feel bad, but other part of me is safety first, yo. And I've thought maybe I should just keep the calf on her because it's a little too late until we get the kick bar. Or I got to get over my own fears, which I'm not really a fearful person around big animals. Raised on a horse ranch. This is my first cow, but I'm not fearful of them. But I can sense fear whispering so she can't hear me. You know, she knows what I'm talking about. I can feel my fear rising up right here. And I don't want to be stupid. But I also don't want to be fearful of my own cow. You'll notice Mia has one larger horn than the other. When she was a baby, we were recommended that we dehorn her, and we did. And it did not work, but it did jack up her horns a little funny. I'm going to turn off this camera, actually, because I feel like I need to give my undivided attention, and I'm going to get lower, keep my distance, have no fear. I'll turn it back on when I'm done. I did not get kicked. I was very cautious about it. My theory is that Suki was nursing, and since we're not letting her, she doesn't want us doing it. So she's pissed off at me. Come out here tomorrow morning, just like normal. She won't have any milk with her because I'm going to leave the calf. My heart is racing. I mean, if you had a broken nose, yours will be too, you know what I'm saying? Well, it is day 3. Don't mind the white stuff. That's DE, diatomaceous earth. We just cleaned out the chicken coop. As you can see, I am getting a black eye. So it'll probably just get Or as my kids say, Mom, that's not black, it's red. Okay, well, I have a red eye and it looks like it's going to turn black. Big praise report. So yesterday, psycho kicker again this day. What I did notice was what I've been doing is just getting her in the stanchion twice a day just to like work her up to back to normal. It's like she had a brain transplant. I have looked for owies. I have no mastitis. Like, I have been milking her regularly and very thoroughly. And so twice a day, you can kind of pick up when your cow is getting mastitis. One, the milk will taste salty. They'll be a little clumpy. But the first cue is the milk salty. Nothing is happening. Like nothing. And I don't know what happened. So then today, this morning, got her on the stanchion, still kicky. I went back just now. Her udder was so full. So she wasn't letting the baby nurse anymore. The baby, you know. Her udder was so full. Her teats were like squirting milk. And I was like, I gotta go milk her. Like, this isn't, like, I've been milking regularly for months. I have to go milk her. And she's not letting the calf nurse again. I don't know what the frick her problem is. So I get her in my old stanchion, which is inside my tiny barn. I built the new stanchion with the mat. It's a little fancier. 2 people can milk at once. She's doing great for since, when did I do? I built that in July. So I'd been using it since July. And she'd been doing great. And 2 people were milking her and no issues. Every once in a while, she kicked the bucket over, and typically it was because a fly was bothering her. But this summer we even milked, we have these biting flies that get really bad. Last year, my legs got all jacked up, swollen from these biting flies that were in the little garden. Well, Mia got it all over her teats this year. I didn't share about it because I was figuring it out. She didn't budge when we were milking her, and she had sores all over her teats. We were treating it, and I was very careful. Like, I was doing diligent with fly spray, getting fly spray on 2-3 times a day for her, healing her teats. She didn't kick then at all, and she had sores all over her teats, all 4 teats. And I mean like sores, nothing. I'm like, man, my cow is like the best cow in the world. So we've come so far in a few years that it just baffles me that this happens, and you just can't trust your cow. So I've been pretty fearful. My husband told me he didn't want me milking until our cow can't kick bar comes in next week. And I was like, well, that's fine if the calf keeps up with it. But if she doesn't, I got to do it. So I'm milking. I went out to milk this afternoon. Trey comes home early. I got busted. But you know what? I was safe. I milked out 2 gallons. I got her in the old stanchion. It has like a 2x6 with a chain, so I can put her against the wall, pin her against the wall so she can't move. But even then, she lifted 1 hoof once and set it back down. She didn't, and that was towards like the end of the milking. And when she was out of feed, which is still not okay. But the whole milking, she just stood there. I'm milking with one hand off to the side, because if you go to the back off to the side and you're just milking there, you can get out of the way, and your arms up high enough, you can't get kicked. So that's what I was doing. And when she's pinned, she couldn't move, she couldn't do anything. So I was able to milk out 2 gallons. I just gave it to the pigs because I feel like because I was scared, I washed her teats, but I can't trust myself because I was scared. This is not like me, but people, that'll do something to your brain. And I'm just like, I was praying and I was asking the Lord, and I was like, Lord, you know what? It's like my cow had a brain transplant. What happened? What do I need to do? It's like she needs a reset. So then I had this idea to put her in our old stanchion with all the precautions in place, and she did good. No issues, except for the 1 hoof lift, which didn't knock the milk bucket. I gave the milk to the pigs, which they were pumped up. And I was safe. My heart was racing afterward. I just got done. Just got busted, from Trey. He goes, I had to come out and confess before he came into the barn. And he was like, you knew I was going to bust you, didn't you? I was like, I did. But you know what? I had to confess my sins. So, anyway, the one time he comes home early. Like, the one time. That's what I got to tell you. So the nose laceration is healing good. I'm obviously having energy. Sometimes it's like not an energy issue. It's a head throbbing problem where like the first kick must have hit over here. And then the second kick broke my nose. The second kick was definitely the worst one. But the first one caught me off guard and was like, ooh. and then bam, and then whacking my head off the back. So I get really bad headaches, which are fine, normal. Broken nose issues. The good news is my nose was straight. I don't know if I talked to you guys about this. My nose was straight, so I didn't have to have any straightening things or casts. They don't really do much for a broken nose. And yeah, anyway, I'll check in on you tomorrow, see how it goes. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up. I think we have seen enough of the broken nose lady, although this will probably be what I look like in the next videos. But I've been feeling good and out working. I still get really bad headaches every now and then. Every now and then I'll get a ringing in my ears. It does go away. And yeah, I've been feeling good enough to work out here in the garden each and every day. The boys, we cleaned out the chicken coop and the pig stall and composted, and the chicken coop looks pretty good to go. And then my friend Kathleen brought over some aspen leaves and then some really beautiful maple leaves. And then so this is, it's kind of funny, so this is gonna be chicken and pig, and then the next 3 are cow compost. Well, actually it's cow and pig probably, and goat. And then I'm about to go grab, we ran out of leaves. Look at these are just gorgeous. So we ran out of leaves, so we actually planted this fall with strawberries, this whole bed, and I'm gonna get some straw or some spent hay, make sure it's not sprayed if you ever put anything on your garden. And so the boys have been helping me compost these beds, and I've been raking it out. They've been bringing me loads. It's been working out good. So we just have to finish out the perimeters. With a couple more loads. This is all our farm compost, which is cool. So after you dress these beds, we like to mulch them so they're not naked for the winter. And it just adds to the level of biodiversity by putting in plant matter as well, leaf mulch. And with leaf mulch, there's no weeds. So the one I'm putting hay on, there is a risk that there could be some weeds in it, and that's okay. Such is life with gardening. And if you're an organic gardener, there's no way you're gonna have 100% weed free all the time. So I'm about to compost that last row, but thank you guys so much for following along. This is a weird video of the cow kick. I have been milking every day now for the last 3, this was my 3rd day, and with no issues. So she settled back down. I'm still in the old stanchion. Trey's about to haul this evening my new stanchion that I built over to our hay barn, which is across the farm. And that's where it's going to reside for winter, just so it can fit and be dry when milking. But as of now, until that kick bar comes, I'm going to be using the old barn has like a squeeze bar that puts her against the wall. So only one person can milk, but that's all that needs to be milking right now. And it's working out. So we're getting this done. It's funny because I'm in shorts and sandals right now, but tomorrow is Halloween and we have warm-ish, it's like upper 50s tomorrow. And then the next day is in a high of 30 something and snow all day. So we should be getting some good snow on Tuesday and Wednesday, cold. We don't get out of the 30s on Tuesday or Wednesday. So as soon as November 1st hits, it's like go time. So we've got all the garlic planted and mulched. Between today and tomorrow, I'm going to be planting some shallots and leeks by seed. Seeing that's kind of an experiment I've heard does really well, and that'll be the next video. I'll still look lovely. Maybe if I put some makeup and maybe tried to do my hair in makeup, it wouldn't look so ridiculous, but I haven't wanted to put anything on this. I wore sunglasses to my son's football game yesterday, and that gave me a bad headache afterwards, so it is what it is. When I was in a lot of pain, my friend Kathleen, she likes to play in the dirt, and she came and worked up 4 beds for me, kind of just cleaned them up, and they had things planted in this year that either the deer got to or we just didn't get to because we had chickens there. And I'm gonna plant some winter wheat. So I'm gonna do 4 huge rows of winter wheat that need to get into the ground today or tomorrow. And yeah, that's that. So I got a few things to wrap up, but this garden's about done. One last bed to mulch and the outers to compost. So that's it, guys. Thanks for following along. I'm on the mend. Yep. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye, guys. Oh, fall is such a beautiful. The last of the sunflowers I haven't pulled out. It's so beautiful in here. I love putting the garden beds to bed. Well, final update now. I just finished, the kick bar came, finished milking our second time today, no kicks. I think I got it figured out. We're milking, you can see the lights, it's on the stanchion. I need to get some nails to put it up, but she's on her way back to the barn, or the pasture. We have it set up this winter because, well, one, the little barn we have out there, the pigs are right next door. So when we're milking, it can be kind of wasn't an issue in the summer. We could just block them off. But as we have snow on the ground, every week we're getting snow now. This is just a little bit. We had way more last week. As it keeps coming, the pigs are inside more and it's out of control. It's not peaceful at all to milk. So we moved the stanchion to the hay barn, which is on the opposite side of the farm. Put up some hot wire that we can easily put down if we need to along the trail so she can run back and forth. She's figuring it out today, people. She's a little wild. The kick bar worked great and no kicking.